guys, and welcome back. My name is Sabrina Dennis and thank you for joining me today on my channel. Today I just really wanted to talk a little bit more about why Revamp, because I know I didn't really go into a lot of detail before, so I'm going to give you a bit of a part two. So as you know, I'm the author of a book called A Piece of a Pie, mother to 4 daughters, wife, business owner, CEO of a charity, etc, etc. The list goes on. You can find out more about me on my website, sabrinadennis.org. But for now, I just want to talk more about why Revamp, because actually, yeah, it's been a challenge. It's been really difficult. I was talking to my team about why I should revamp and saying that I'm really kind of frustrated with where I've come to. I kind of feel like I've hit a full stop. I launched a book 2 years ago, A Piece of the Pie. It was fantastic. The process of writing a book was awesome, and I'll talk about that in other videos. But for where I am today, I just feel like I need to recreate my image. I do feel a little bit guilty for almost following the trends that I saw online at the time. It's like an image of perfection, and even when I look at myself now, I don't look the same as how I looked 2 years ago. I've put on a bit of weight. I've changed my hair. Well, haven't been able to go to the hairdresser for ages because of the COVID situation. But even still, the lifestyle and the way I was living at the time has changed quite considerably. And when I was writing the book, my children were very young. I mean, 2 years ago, my youngest was 4, and then so on and so forth. So the things I was doing in my life back then with sort of toddlers and babies, and kind of nobody was quite a teenager yet, to where I am now, where I've got like a big teenager, nearly one that's nearly 16 and another one that's just entered her teen years. My life is very different. In my book, I write a lot about how I manage, and actually all of the things that I talk about in my book in terms of meal planning, family planning, conferences for our family, events, how I manage myself still remain the same, but I've taken it up a notch, or probably like 4 or 5 notches. My children are much older now, so they're not reliant upon me to do so many things like I was before. I wasn't doing the nursery run half a day and then jumping off to go and pick up another one. Sort of, they're all at school normally, you know, they all come back at the same time. So in the middle of my day I work, which is good, work on our company and our charity. But I don't know, Revamp for me, just, I feel so different. I feel so much more mature. I've faced a few challenges in the last couple of years. I lost my grandmother, which was a massive challenge for me, because I had to manage the funeral process, which I'd never done before. And a lot of responsibility was placed on my shoulders, which I suppose can happen to anybody. You know, anybody can do that, but I'd never done it before. And I found myself in sort of a downward spiral of grief and upset and sadness, but at the same time spiraling to manage a project, which was a funeral, and, you know, do all of that stuff. So I quickly switched into that brain. But going through something like that teaches you a lot about yourself. You know, you learn that you don't necessarily have it all together when things like tragedy come and present themselves to you. I feel that I really had to take time out, just to re-look at everything, rethink about what my purpose is in life, what I want to do, how I want to do it, what kind of mom I want to be to growing girls who are not babies anymore, who can't be quickly silenced by Peppa Pig, things like that. They now need other things. And so I'm in a different space mentally. I'm in a different space emotionally. I want more from my relationship with my husband, and we want to go deeper and more intimate, you know, because I do feel like a lot of the methods that I talk about in my book, which include how we manage our relationship with each other, we do still do, but it's not enough now, if that makes sense. Like meeting at 8 o'clock in the evening for a catch up and a drink and a chat, it was good during the times when our children were small and young and demanded our attention, but now they're old and they can and they can do more on their own. It's kind of like, well, actually we can do more than just spend half an hour in the evening or an hour in the evening chatting. We could go out somewhere, or We can create a date night or whatever. So yeah, revamp. It's a complete revamp, a whole revamp and overhaul of me, how I feel about myself, how I feel about our work, how I feel about my family and my children. I've revamped my boundaries and my barriers. Like, oh my goodness, there's less access to me now than there was before. I talk about saying no in my book, but I really am practicing saying no. And I just feel that I'm just a different person. I think through this COVID-19 pandemic, we've had an opportunity to really introspect and reflect upon ourselves and our life. And I feel like now is a time for me to just do that publicly. So a lot of the work that I do will be shown, but some of it won't. I'm going to keep some things to myself, because why do we have to share everything? You know, I'm doing this, but this is a journal for me. So I can look back and be like, my gosh, look how far you've come, or look at what space you're in. So yeah, that's really it. You know, I don't know if anybody can relate, but I just feel like so much has changed in the last 6 months alone compared to the last 2 years. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, like how I feel, but I really feel like change is here, and change is here to stay. And how I manage that change and that opportunity is going to be awesome if I do it right, and if I look at it as an opportunity. I really feel that the Sabrina Dennis on the front of my books and my pull-up stands is just sort of a little dolly now compared to the giant that I'm becoming, and blowing my own trumpet. Yes, I am. Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm a giant. I feel like I've grown emotionally and professionally. I'm exposed to so much more than I was before. I was just coming out in coming out when I launched my book. I'd never really done anything public before at that point. And so I found it very hard to be in the public eye. I found it hard to have people asking me questions and get in contact with me about my book and the process. I found it hard to be, you know, invited to do public speaking, even though I speak regularly in professional world. When it came to my book and it came to the things that I had to do for me, I found that really difficult. And actually, I just retreated. I stopped answering my emails for certain things, and I stopped pushing myself out there because I found it hard. Genuinely, I found it hard. I'm not as much of an extrovert as I thought I was. And I think sometimes when you're looking at social media and the things that other people are doing, you quickly try to think, right, well, I've got a book and I've got something and I'm going to launch and I'm going to do it the same way they are doing it. But I couldn't. That's the truth. I couldn't keep up. I didn't have the capacity to do that. And I felt very frustrated. I felt like everything I had to do had to be perfect, had to be censored. Like, images had to look good. There couldn't be a slight blur, or there couldn't be I don't know, some kind of building in the background or something. Like, everything had to be edited up perfectly. And I started to resent it. I started to resent the fact that if it didn't look a certain way, it couldn't be shared. Like, I'm not perfect, so that means that I can't share myself then, because I'm not putting out my authentic self, because it always has to be edited and approved and this and that. And it's just, you know, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. So I just really am now at that point where I actually don't really care. Like, this is me. This is who I am. With my blonde hair when I can get it done, or without my blonde hair, with the extra, I don't know, probably stone and a half, or the nut, I don't know. I'm just not prepared to edit my life to fit social media and edit my life to fit what people think it should look like. Like, the revamp is this, and you're going to see more of the real, the authentic Sabrina, the Sabrina that is just should have started out that way in the first place, rather than, you know, creating this whole, I don't know, persona, I suppose, a picture of perfection, when really that's impossible to maintain. It is absolutely impossible. Unless you've got a crew of people following you around, and a makeup artist and a hairdresser on standby and all of that stuff that a lot of people do. Thank God for them. But for me, I don't have that. I don't have that. So I have to just do things as I am. And I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. If that means that, you know, it just looks the way it looks, And if that means my videos are just a bit janky and they're not edited to perfection, then that's just what it is. Because that's my life, that's real to me. So yeah, that's why I'm revamping. I want to start again. I want it to be authentic. I want it to just show who I am, warts and all. Eyelashes on or not. I just want it to be authentic. And, you know, I hope that I can give some people hope to do their own thing without fear of what other people might think, or without fear of it being imperfect or, you know, not excellent. Whatever you create for yourself, if you're doing it for the right reasons, and it doesn't matter, just do it. Someone's waiting for you to do what you need to do. Someone's waiting for their encouragement. I hope that this video is useful in the sense that you can see that, you know what, strip back, here it is, Sabrina Dennis, as I am. There you go, Sabrina Dennis, as I am. So I hope that was a good one. Don't forget to click on the buttons, like, subscribe. You can comment, you can say, you know, how you feel. Remember, these videos are literally me just journaling my thoughts and feelings about revamping and just about everything. There'll be different themes over the months to come of things that I will be doing and I am working on. And I want to show you what it is. I want to show you what I have to do. I want to tell you what I have to do and be honest and transparent with you. So I hope that was useful. I hope to see you again soon. Take care.